Hello everyone and welcome back. Just getting the tractor unloaded from spraying the corn. I actually sprayed it yesterday afternoon and saw one of the comments question, do I use a pre-emergent on the corn? Yes, I use a product called Bicep Magnum 2, which is a premix of atrazine and dual magnum. So that's what we put down on it, and we'll talk about the sprayer a little bit. Kind of what this video is about is the equipment I use and kind of why we use it, why I use what I use. I had this little boom sprayer. It's just a little PTO boom sprayer that has been modified or whatever. It's 12 foot. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nozzles on it. Boom just folds down like so. Just low pressure, 45, 50 psi. I did put cutoffs where I can cut off, where I can just spray under the tractor, if I'm spot spraying something. I have replaced the pump, and this year I went to hook it up and I dropped it and broke this 9-degree plastic fitting on this side, so I replaced that. The gauge got broke. It got turned over and the whole valve broke off the pedestal here, but it's still there. It works. Would I like to have a bigger, fancier, schmancier sprayer? Sure. But I use this primarily for the herbicides and the pumpkins and the corn, and it works. It functions. It's 12 foot. Most of my fields are 5 acres or less, so I can get over them in a reasonable amount of time. So it's 60 gallons, and that works out fine. I calibrate it and mix my sprays and go with it. Same with the tractor. Little 5205, I think it's rated 53 horsepower, something like that. Don't quote me on that, but it's around 50-55 horsepower. It has served me extremely well. I bought it new in 2005 for planting and spraying, transplanting, raking hay. It works really, really good. It's nimble. It operates well. It has given excellent service to this point. It may blow up tomorrow, but it's give very good service. But and you guys have watched the channel before. This kind of old hat. Then we got the New Holland TN70, which is a little bigger tractor. Tillage, a lot of hay work. The cab's nice, a little more horsepower, for the tillage or whatever. Like our field cultivator, all-purpose plow, spring tooth, 9-shank, whatever you want to call it. It serves the purpose. It works what we want, just like my 3-point hitch, 3-bottom plows, stuff like that. My point being is that, there's a lot of things. I've tried to match the equipment to what I'm doing. Now, past several years, I was reaching kind of the upper limits of what my equipment capability was. To explain that to you, yes, I could farm endless amounts of acres with what I've got. It just takes longer. That's the thing, the time. Where that's why I use the New Holland for tillage. I can pull that plow at a higher speed than I can pull it with the John Deere. Now sometimes I will use the John Deere just because of hooking, unhooking, transporting and all this stuff. If that one's hooked to something that it's needed for tomorrow, I may hook this one to the plow to get it done or whatever. But the point of this video is, the equipment kind of matches my needs. If I expand my operation or change my operation around, I may have to change my equipment. You know, it may no longer work. I may need something bigger. You know, if I go down in acreage and what I'm doing, it'll still work. I mean, you know, that's trying to get the equipment to match what I'm doing. And that goes for the crops I choose to grow as well. You know, there were some questions, comments about, you know, why don't you grow this or whatever. A lot of those crops I've grown in the past. It's just finding the crops that fit, that I have a market for, that are profitable, hopefully, and work well in the way I'm doing it. Some of, you know, I could add some crops, cut back on some of the things I'm doing and add some more specialty, more higher value crops, which I may at some point. I may cut down on the acreage and go for small acreage, high value crop type thing. Who knows? I may cut back on the vegetables and start doing custom hay again, which at one point we did. And I did it primarily with this tractor, the John Deere. But you know, it is a it's something to look at. You know, you got to look at your operation as a whole. One thing that you know, I get a lot of comments, questions when I do a video or whatever sometimes about, you know, what I do. What I do works for me. There's a lot of people that know a lot more about it than I do, and what your situation is, what I do may not work well for it. Vice versa, what you're doing may work great for me. You know, I don't know. And that's something to keep in mind. You know, it's what you can do in the Great Plains or along the Piedmont or the coastal plain of the East Coast, or, you know, in Ohio River Valley or the Tennessee River Valley, West Coast. You know, that can vary from what I'm doing here. It's one of those things that keep in mind. But New Holland's been a pretty good tractor. It has some quirks about it every now and then, but it still functions well. You know, that's the thing. And a lot of the equipment, well, we're talking about equipment, I have slightly modified through the years to, you know, like putting the log behind the all-purpose plow and shut-offs on the sprayer. There's little things like that can sometimes make a difference. But you know, that's it. What fits, what works. And to be honest, sometimes it takes years to figure that out, and sometimes you'll stumble across something and say, why have I not been doing this forever? You know, growing up, we used a horse and a 4-foot cultivator to keep the weeds out of the corn and burley tobacco and stuff like that. And you know, I could still do that. I don't have the time. Then later we used a tractor to cultivate and keep the weeds out. I could still do that. Once again, it's a time issue. But and you know, time is money. But that's just a quick video about that. I get that questions about that a lot, about the crops, how I choose the crops. I like sometimes say I don't choose crops. Crops choose me. The equipment, try to match up to what I'm trying to do with it. I bought this John Deere, like I said, in 2005. I had just bought this place and, you know, was starting out. I wasn't starting out, but, you know, getting a good start in farming and stuff like that for the second time. And you know, people ask me sometimes, why didn't you buy a bigger tractor? It was every bit of tractor I could afford at the time, and but it served me well. And its size and everything is very good. Later on, I did buy that one. I can't remember when I bought that tractor. 2017, 15, somewhere through there. I've had it 6 or 7 years. But, you know, once again, that's what we, you see me doing something you think's odd, it very well could be. I might be able to do it a little different somewhere else. And I should be doing it a little different. You know, it might actually help me. But anyhow, just a little bit of blabbing on. We have, next step is, I gotta get mowed around the barn lot here. The next step is we'll be hooking moldboard plows back to the New Holland. Got 5 acres I've yet to plow that I've got to get plowed and get it, get the tillage done on it so we can get the next round of sweet corn and the pumpkins planted in it. So I've got 3 rounds of sweet corn and a round of pumpkins left, and we've got to get the hay cut and put up. So that's where we're going. That's the videos you should be seeing before long. And you know, anything that pops in my head I may make a video about. And like this one, just blabbing my jaw. But anyhow, if you like what we're doing, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you have a question or comment, please do so. There's a lot of comments. I've been trying to catch up some on them. I'll continue to work on them. And you know, if it's an intriguing comment, I may make a video about it, but and try to answer it that way, because sometimes it's easier for me to answer it that way than it is with a reply. So until next time, everybody take care of yourself, and we'll see you later.